Hi, if you're a teacher or an educationalist, then congratulations, this video is made for you. If you're also a student, then watch this video to the end as we'll be showing us how to use the Microsoft Excel if function, nested if function at that to calculate the student's grade. On our screen here is our worksheet and it has the student's first name, the student's last name, and the different test course, test 1 and test 2. I have paper 1, paper 2, total, average, and grade. So we'll be using the if function to find out the letter grade for each of the students depending on the score the student scores. Now, many times a lot of clients or teachers have met me, okay, help us do this, or how can we achieve that? So this video explains that all. Do well to support us by smashing the subscribe button right away. Now, the first student on our list is Jonas Emily. Now, supposing the test is overall test score is over 100 and Emily scored 100. We're just going to enter some random figures here. Eventually we'll vary to see the effect it will have. All right, then paper 1 still over 100, then paper 2 is over 100, then have total is the summation of all this. So use the Excel function sum, select it, then you select the range and you close up your bracket and hit what? Enter. So the total is what? 400. Then the average equal to average. Some people call it MEAN, mean. So you select the range. Please don't include total, then close it up. So the average is what? 100. So supposing you vary this to maybe 84, notice the average will change as well as the total. And supposing you vary this to maybe 65, okay, the average changes. So we are trying to model the data. So how do you calculate the grade? So we'll use the Excel function if, and it's actually going to be nested. At the bottom of our screen here is a little guide or grading scale that shows us from 90 to 100 gives is an A, from 80 to 90 is a B, from 70 to 80 is a C, from 60 to 70 is a D, 90 less than 60 is an F. So just pay attention as we go ahead to use the if function. You start off with what? Equal to if. Alright, so the if function, remember, it always have a logical test that it checks with a given value, then it returns a value if true and it returns another value if false. So the logical test in this first case is if this particular cell H2 is greater or equal to 90. So you type in your 90, all right, so comma. So what is the value if true, or what value should it return if this is true? It should return the letter what? A. And you make sure you type in your letter in speech marks or double quotes. Then comma. Then what should it return if the value is false? This is where it gets interesting. So if the value is false, then you should start your second if, right? So select it, then it asks for the logical test. The logical test is still if this same cell H2 is greater or equal to A. Alright. Sorry, I think I missed an error there. So I want to delete that plus sign. Okay. So let me just continue from my formula bar. It's greater or equal to 80, comma. Then the value, if true, is it should output what? The layer B, close up the speech marks, comma. Then the value if false, you start your third if. Is that okay? So if, then open the bracket. The logical test is if H2 is, so you can actually type in your H2 or you make reference to it, is greater or equal to in this case 70, right? So comma, then the value if true, it should output a C, close it up. Then the value if false, you start your fourth if. So if, open up the bracket, the logical test is if H2 is greater or equal to, so the next one is what? 60. Have we done 70? Okay, so it's greater or equal to 60, comma. Then the value if true, it should output a D, right? So a D. All right, then the value if false, it should output an F, because anything that is not greater or equal to 60 is definitely less than 60. And from our table here, we see that anything less than 60 is an F. So the last value if false will accommodate the last condition. Okay, so close it up. Then, so if you notice, we'll have 4 ifs in this case. So we need 4 closing brackets to complete this Excel formula. All right, so this is the first if. So you close it up. So this is the second if. Also take note of the color as you are closing it up. Then this is the third if. Okay, so red, then the last one. So you just hit enter. So this guy is called what? A B. So the grade is what? A B. So don't be frightened or don't be so overwhelmed by the length of this formula or how complex it is. You don't need to cram it. If you just follow it one step at a time, you definitely get it. All right, so let us try and model this data and see what happens to the grade, supposing we'll vary each of these scores. So supposing in test 2, this person now go ahead to score 69. Okay, so he changes to what? A C, because the average is now 79.5, and 79.5 is within 70 and 80. All right, so supposing for paper 1, you now go ahead to score 90. So it's a B now. So supposing for here, went ahead to score A. So it's still a B. So supposing here changes to what? 95 or 95. Okay, so it's an A. So this is how to use the Excel if function to find the grade of students in letters. Is okay. So you can go ahead to fill up all these other score for the other students, and you can now go ahead to drag down your if function or your if statement, and it should work the same way. So supposing we now go ahead to just fill this. So we have C7, don't have 7-2, don't have 8-3, don't have maybe your 9-3, don't have the total. So the total, you can just drag this one down to the end to calculate the total for you. So this 315, then the average, you can just drag this one to the end to calculate the average. So this is that. So you are having this div because there's no value in this part. It's okay, but once you add value, it will bring out a figure here. Then you can now drag this if function down to see what have you. So this is C. So don't mind if you're having this error. Once you input values into this, you definitely get an answer or something here. Supposing we go ahead to just say 8-3, maybe we'll say 5-6, we'll say 9-5. It's okay. Just notice how everything changes. Alright, you're already getting value even without completing for paper 2. Alright, so supposing this student missed paper 2, so this will be 0. Okay, so you notice that he will have gotten an F because it's now adding the fourth score. But supposing the fourth score is empty, okay, it will be a C because the average is now divided by 3 instead of by 4. Does that help? All right, so going for this is called 77. So he will end up with what? A C eventually. Hope you got value in this video. Remember to support us by smashing the subscribe button. There are different ways of actually achieving this letter grading for students. We made a video on Excel nested if function on this same student grading, but using another approach. You might want to watch it up on your screen now. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section below. Also, if you have ideas or videos that you want us to make video on, also go ahead to drop it in the comment section below. Microsoft Excel made easy. On your screen is a video on how to use Microsoft Excel nested if function to calculate students' grades. Go ahead to watch it right away. Excel made easy.